It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Jerry Caldwell on a Friday, February 7th, 2025. Jerry, you look a little ragged. How are you feeling? I think you muted yourself there.
You I did. Sorry. I was taking care of myself. Yeah, I'm under the weather. I've got that upper respiratory thing that's all the rage right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, we think Raj may have a little bit of that as well.
I'll tell you, I'm going to jinx myself.
Uh-oh.
But I started taking oil of oregano. Started, feeling a little bit bad. And I have not been sick this year so far. And usually through the winter, I end up getting something. So,
well, we're only a month in.
Oil of oregano.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a thing.
And that's
we have some in here actually.
The sick away.
Yes.
Massive amounts of vitamin C, some oil of oregano, little elderberry. Does mighty good.
It's oil of oregano with black seed, and it's so far I have, even when I started to feel a little bit of just kind of tickle in my throat of sinus stuff, I started taking it. So far, so good.
Well, congratulations. Knock on wood. Mm-hmm. So far, I have avoided the sicknesses, and I hope to maintain that. Especially coming off of dry January, my alcohol level is usually pretty high that it repels and kills most germs.
Right.
But that's been lower over the last 30 plus days. But still going strong. Jerry, I know your lungs have betrayed you, and you're sick right now. Trey, you're healthy right now. But Jerry, how are your legs feeling? Are they feeling strong, healthy? Can you go outside? Can you walk around and stuff?
Right in this moment, not. I mean, the legs are strong, but I get winded easily.
Okay. The reason I ask is because yesterday on the show, Trey and I were discussing how new research has come out that teens are increasingly bored. And Trey and I think part of the reason why is because they don't go outside anymore.
I concur.
On the heels of that research, that teens are overwhelmed by boredom nowadays, another study has come out to tell us that it's gotten so bad with kids that some of them can't even go upstairs. That's being reported by elementary school teachers in the UK. Their students can't go upstairs. That's how bad it's gotten.
That's a scary. We're entering into Wall-E territory.
I never saw Wall-E, so I don't understand that reference. Is it because kids? Oh, wait. Was that the one where it had people like a fat guy in like a TV chair thing, just eating, and he's fat, and he's just got like the TV on an arm in front of him, kind of a thing?
Everybody's got fat, bloated bodies and little tiny limbs because they stopped doing anything for themselves.
Yeah, it's happening. What year did Wall-E in what year did Wall-E take place?
What was it? Oh, did it take place?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be near future, like in the next 100 years.
Well, it was too far ahead of its time.
I mean, this is on the heels of, we have a fat woman suing Lyft because she's too fat to get into a car, and the driver said no. Same thing with Uber.
It is called Lyft.
A fat woman.
Jerry, it's called Lyft, not hoist.
Yeah. And a fat woman who's trying to get the airlines to change because she can't fit. And it's like, I hate to say it, but fat people make fat babies. And that is.
There's too much entitlement, not enough going outside.
Mm-hmm.
If you are raising children that can't go upstairs, you have failed as a parent. And I know that a lot of people point too much at parents and parental responsibility for certain things. Like if some kid shoots somebody or does something illegal, people, I see this a lot in the comment section. You should send the parents to jail, blah, blah, blah. Look, if the parent didn't secure a firearm, that's something to discuss. But sometimes kids are just bad and they're going to do some bad things. You can't always blame the parents. But when you got fat kids, that's a parental issue. You have to be able to tell your children no. It's not the only time they're going to hear it in their life. Get them used to it early.
1 o'clock in the afternoon in the summer. Why are they inside?
Yeah, that's something we talked about yesterday. Is one of the things we used to do as kids, and that you just don't see as much as ride bikes.
You could always tell where everybody was because all the bikes were laying on their side in the front yard, whoever's house they were at.
Well, that's you were bored. You got on your bike, you went riding around. Typically, you'd find some friends, riding around, and you ganged up and went on your merry way.
Yeah,
got the Roman candles and.
I mean, BB gun wars, probably not the smartest thing.
Right.
But we learned.
Roman candle jousting.
Mm-hmm.
But we learned.
The rickety ramps we used to put together.
We learned. That's how you learn. You learn by making mistakes. Yeah. But at the same time, while we're building these ramps for our bikes and our skateboards, and we're cutting ourselves and bruising ourselves and breaking bones, we were also learning engineering and physics.
That's right.
It's this totality of childhood that is escaping kids. And this new survey out of the UK found that not only can kids not go upstairs, but these are UK kids and they're starting to sound like American kids. So it's all our fault.
UK has just as big of a weight problem as the States do. And they don't have near the processed food that we do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just, sometimes I thank God that for a little bit of my claustrophobia, because it makes me take stairs. If it's within 5 floors, I take stairs instead of taking an elevator.
I always take the stairs when I go in to work too. 4 flights every day.
I'll tell you right now, that's how you keep from getting fired in radio, is you take the stairs. Because you will never find a radio executive in the stairwell.
You never find a radio executive in the building anymore.
That's a good point.
About to say, just hang out in their office.
We're not bitter at all. We're just knowledgeable.
Yep. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
For all things Treehouse, like Cindy said right there, go to treehouseonair.com. That means past shows, links, contact info, and more, all there on our website, treehouseonair.com. That's treehouseonair.com. On a Friday, February 7, 2025, I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Jerry Caldwell inside the Treehouse. We were just talking about how a study was done in the United Kingdom saying that some elementary school students are having issues going upstairs. That's how bad it's gotten, that kids don't go outside enough anymore, that they have trouble using their legs. Meanwhile, and I applaud this, the Dutch are not taking this lying down. So in the Netherlands, to help combat children and the lack of outside activity, they have decided to bring recess combat back into play by urging kids to pick up stick fighting again.
Yeah.
Can't see anything wrong with that.
Oh, hang on. That's the wrong button. Anyway, I when I saw the story, I thought, my God, that's terrible. That's one of the worst things I've ever heard. But then I started thinking about it and I was like, oh wait, no, I used to do that a lot. I love stick fighting. Let's do that. Let's bring that back.
They'll probably have protective headwear and eyewear.
Yeah, we didn't have that. And for us, stick fighting was actually like, it was baseball bats with nails sticking out of them. We were all like a bunch of little Negans running around the recess playground. But I really do. I find this fascinating. In the Netherlands, they're saying soft spaces are out and stick fighting is in because
Nice.
the Dutch are calling for the return of risky play. They want to encourage kids. Well, maybe not play with fire, but at least to try to combat their sedentary ways with some actual combat.
Get out there on a playground filled up with river rocks. Get you some sticks. Trash can lid.
As a shield.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yes.
I am all for this. I mean, I really am, because this is where we all learned as kids about consequences, and pain tolerance. I mean, I've still got scars on my body that I'm proud to have, and I don't know if I don't mean for this to be generational bashing, because it's not the kid's fault. The fault lies with people that are our age raising these soft ass kids. And I'm not saying that we should have kept the hot metal slide type thing. I'm for a reasonable amount of safety for children, right? But again, I feel like there's been a massive overcorrection. And if the Dutch want to start up a children's stick fighting thing at recess, we'll take bets on that. Let's load up on FanDuel.
Right. Let's get a league together.
Mm-hmm.
Make them some jerseys.
I mean, I always kind of fizzled out in fantasy football, but I think I'd do really well in fantasy child stick fighting.
Yeah, you start streaming it live.
My money's on Reggie.
There'd be people up at 3 a.m. here going, give me the redhead with the freckles.
Uh-huh.
Those gingers don't take no.
They're mean.
Ginger will you up, man. In all seriousness, I think it's important. I think it's recess. I now think recess is just as important as reading, writing, and arithmetic. Get those kids outside, let them run around, do some stuff. Maybe don't turn your back on them as much as some of the supervisors did when I was a child, so they don't run headfirst into playground equipment that doesn't give. But still, let them go outside and play. Make them go outside and play so they can use their legs.
Well, one of the biggest things, and I think this should something parents should really take note of, is I forgot the percentage, but the percentage of people who work for social media companies that do not allow their kids on social media
Very telling.
is so high. Like 80%, I think was somewhere around there. Like that should tell parents, hey, and they know what they're talking about because it's their livelihood and they don't let their kids touch it.
It speaks volumes.
Mm-hmm.
And as if these things that we've just told you about aren't eye-opening enough, take all of it together and you combine that with the news. I said this a couple of days ago. It's I scrolled through 10 minutes of news and I wanted my head to explode. And honestly, coming in here to do the show with you guys helps. It's part of my mental health. It's part of my therapy. I'm
Right.
actually thinking about the podcast version of the show, changing the category to mental health podcast because it's needed. We all need to laugh more. We need to go outside. But and that's my point is things are weird. Things are bad. And I'll give you a good example. One of the stories I saw the other day I wanted my head to explode was when I read the headline that there's a 1.3% chance of a massive asteroid hitting Earth in 2032. And my first thought was, I wish it would hurry the hell up. I'm cheering for the asteroid. That's sad.
Well, it's a little much.
I'm still really butthurt about the Luka trade.
So if Dallas can't have him, then just the hell with it all.
Yeah, just get all, man. Blow us all up. I'm gonna turn in my Luka and my Dirk jersey for a big foam finger with a middle finger instead of a number 1 and a photo of an asteroid on it saying, "Come and get me." But in case you didn't know, astronomers in Chile, they spotted a massive asteroid with a 1.3% chance of hitting our planet in 2032. Not the highest of odds, but yeah. It still could be dangerous. It's not one of those planet killer types. They say it's around the size of a football field. So it would not destroy everything and everyone, but it would do some serious damage. It would destroy buildings up to 9 miles away, shatter windows more than 60 miles away, trigger a massive earthquake that would destroy things over an even larger area than that. It would also kick up a ton of dust and debris, linger in the atmosphere. Now, that's if it hits land. If it hits in the ocean, again, it's still going to hit land just through the water. It would cause a massive tsunami. Now, granted, it's still just a 1.3% chance that it could happen, but I've got hope.
Hope for the Astro. I mean, that's, everyone always said like the 2012 was the year, the Mayans predicted that the world would come to an end. And actually it was more like 2030 to 2080. So that fits right in.
Ooh, that does track. That's pretty good.
And an asteroid like that doesn't have to hit Earth to cause like the Younger Dryas effect. And we could all be frozen to death, flooded away, whatever. So
sounds great.
Yeah. Go space.
I am AFFL, baby.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Do you like to watch? Well, you can watch us on YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel. You can search for it, the Treehouse Show Podcast, or you can go directly to it, youtube.com/@treehouseonair. That's youtube.com/@treehouseonair. Treehouse TV is on, so take a gander if you so please. Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Jerry Caldwell, inside the Treehouse, joined by very special guest from Paws in the City, North Texas's largest no-kill, all-volunteer animal rescue group. Hello, Ashley.
Hello.
Yay, Ashley's here. Yay, fanfare.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for having us.
All right, we're going to talk about the dogs and Paws in the City and everything in just a little bit. But before we do that, we need to pull in your female opinion here inside the Treehouse. But before we do that, we were talking in the break because, Jerry, you said you heard something about the Luka Doncic trade that made you super, super sad for the millionaire.
Well, I mean, he had just closed on a $15 million house like a couple of days before they surprised him with the fact that he had been traded. So I really think that kind of sucks.
That's sad. $15 million.
Yeah.
For a guy that has already made a few $100 million.
I know, but it's the thing about moving and getting ready to start anew. And
so it's less the financial, it's more the emotional
right.
destruction that the Mavs have caused upon Luka.
And then somebody comes along and makes your plans for you.
But the thing about it with Luka that I think people forget, it's just this whole conditioning thing. I think there's something to it. It's like Allen Iverson was one of the great talents of the NBA, but his career flamed out pretty fast. And a lot of it was because he would not work out. He no conditioning, no nothing. I mean, he's the one who famously, they ask him, why don't you lift weights? And he goes, because that S is heavy.
All right. Out of deference to him, he's not wrong.
No, he's not.
He did say a factual thing, except he used it as an excuse to not. You're a professional athlete, act like it a little bit. But wasn't he also the one that said, "Man, we're talking about practice"?
Oh yeah,
yeah. So that's really not that surprising.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But Jerry, you're not wrong. I think that being completely stunned all of a sudden, your life is now upside down. You got to move 2 time zones and go to LA. He'll be all right. I think he'll be fine.
You're the next big star. You're now the centerpiece of the Lakers in LA and Hollywood. He gonna be all right.
Yeah, go take a yoga class. You'll
and here's the thing. Also, remember the numbers thing is Dallas the Supermax contract would have been like $350 million. With the Lakers, it's like $237. So he could easily get signed and then get traded back. Some things could happen. He could come back, but probably not.
We will see. Time will tell. But like I said, you worried about your conditioning? Go outside, go for a walk. We've been talking about that a lot lately. Like I said, you could go to a yoga class, go to a spin class, something to, work on your conditioning and become a better version of yourself. The trick is, though, if you're a dude going into the group fitness classes, you can't act like too much of a dude. Because there's a lady on TikTok who has gone semi-viral, which, by the way, I don't even know what the new threshold is for going viral, how many views or likes or whatever that is. She's caused a bit of a stir because after a yoga class, she got on TikTok and complained about the dude in class who was grunting and slurping and doing all sorts of things that generally annoyed her. I'll let her tell you here.
The hot yoga class, and there were many guys in the class. Particular man, push-ups before class started, heavy breathing, grunting, slurping his water. It is a quiet, zen, peaceful yoga class.
Did you hear that? Like, she started out saying it's a hot yoga class, and he was doing push-ups beforehand and then just making a ruckus.
Just took a hot yoga class, and there were many guys in the class. Particular man, push-ups before class started, heavy breathing, grunting, slurping his water. It is a quiet, zen, peaceful yoga class. It is 7 a.m. Why must you take up more space than you already naturally do? Why can you be seen and not heard? Demure, cutesy, Like, we get it. You're a man. Like, you don't need to act like that, though. It's annoying, and we all secretly hate you.
Wow. Strong opinions there from whatever her name is. Here's something she needs to keep in mind. That man may be struggling. And I don't mean with mental health. I mean physically, because speaking as a man who has tried yoga and gotten stuck twice, he may be going through some things that you need to have a little bit of patience and offer him a little bit of grace.
Or maybe just kind of go help him a little bit.
But
I know the way that she wants to help that guy, and that involves a namaste shovel.
I'm with her because I hate the grunt guy in the weight room. The guy who just every rep he does, he's that I hate it.
Yeah,
like it's unnecessary, dude. We all get it. You're deadlifting 350 pounds. Good for you. Your knees are going to buckle sooner or later.
When I was in high school, they told me that like the grunt or the exertion or something like that it's part of the workout. You're supposed to do it. It's good for your lungs. I
agree with you, Ashley. I think that's a true thing. There was even a study done that said it is good for you if you swear after you like stub your toe, cut your finger, whatever it is. It helps get that stuff out. And it's a similar thing. When you're working out and you're doing the grunting thing, it's okay within reason.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing some serious heavy lifting and you would get it out, fine. But if you're doing that with 25-pound dumbbells and you're making it sound like they're 250, that's a different story. Like, don't just grunt for the grunt's sake. Like, you better, like, if you're going to make the noise, you better be backing it up with what you're doing. Like, you better be leg pressing, every plate in the gym. Plus, and I've seen this, plus people riding the sled on top of it. That's when you can scream.
So, like, make your workout match your grunt.
Yes. Yes. So don't grunt just for the heck of it. You need, like, if you're grunting, you have to grunt because not just because it makes you lift heavy, but because the grunt is keeping you from prolapsing and keeping all your guts inside of you.
Are the straps too big?
You mean on the wrists? Trey, I've been lifting weights for a long time, but I do not know what you were talking about.
I do.
There's no pegging at the gym, Trey. Shut up. And if there is, I am within every right in my body to grunt how I please.
I'll give you that one.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Paws in the City. That is, I mentioned it just a little bit ago. I want to restate it here now as we welcome Ashley from Paws in the City into the Treehouse. The website, pawsinthecity.org. This show has a long-running, storied history and tradition of promoting dog and cat rescue through Paws in the City. Mostly dogs. They don't care about cats nearly as much. The website, pawsinthecity.org. And they are, as I said before, the largest no-kill, all-volunteer animal rescue group in North Texas. At least they were the last time we had them on. Ashley, is that still the case? You guys still number one?
As far as I know.
All right, good. All right, well, I'm not lying then. Ashley, what is it? This is the first time you've been on the show on the air with Paws in the City. So what is it that you do with Paws in the City? Are you the new Mark Verma?
No, no, I'm not. I actually just got voted onto the board of directors, so I'm the marketing director now.
Well, congratulations.
Excellent. Excellent.
And since it's an all-volunteer organization, I bet you can't wait to cash that first paycheck.
Right.
Well, congratulations. Seriously, congratulations. That's a beautiful honor. So what is currently happening at Paws in the City? I know you're always trying to get animals adopted, and you're always looking for new fosters. You have any events coming up?
We do. We have Martinis for Mutts is our 15th annual, actually. So it's a formal, cocktail party, and it's always at the Candle Room. And we'll have raffles and silent auction. We'll have a foster dog there.
Just
DJ
one?
music. What was that?
Just one?
At least one. We don't want to take up too much room with it because the Candle Room is so small. But we do like to have it, some dog representation.
Right.
I imagine it's got to be just like the perfect dog because it's the Candle Room, so it's hoity-toity. It's one of the premier Dallas night spots.
Yeah.
And it's Martinis and Mutts, so it's got to be a fancy-looking dog. So you probably go through a meticulous process in choosing which dog gets to go out for the night.
Well, and they have to be, well suited for, for a crowd of people. And there's a DJ and stuff, so dancing and all that loud environment, that sort of thing. So
that makes sense. So a deaf dog that doesn't mind being around drunk people.
Just a real social dog, anyway.
Slap a tuxedo on him, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Got to.
So we've got that coming up. And then the week following that, we actually just got, just getting this set up starting yesterday. The Lazy Dog restaurant in Addison is from the 17th. So it's going to start that Monday and go for the week. Anybody who comes in and mentions Paws in the City, they're going to donate 15% of the proceeds back to us. So if you miss Martinis for Mutts or you want to do both, go up to, have happy hour or dinner at the Lazy Dog. The food's great. They're dog friendly, and they actually have a doggy meal menu too.
Yes.
So
love Lazy Dog.
Yeah, we do too. So we're excited for that. We're kind
of sad thing is though, and I'm not making this up, the food is very good. You're not wrong about that. But the sad thing is they don't have a whole lot of quote unquote healthy options for people that are trying to watch their waistlines. So you can order off the dog menu and just don't tell the people.
Totally.
Because they give you chicken and rice, like grilled chicken and a hamburger patty with brown rice. There you have it. That's people will pay good money for, meal prep like that. You can get it at Lazy Dog.
Definitely. Yeah. I don't know for sure that they do this anymore, but during the pandemic, everything's shut down. They actually did frozen meal packages. They have a big chicken pot pie, and you just, put in your order and come, pick it up, throw it in your freezer, like frozen pizza, just a little better.
That's true. I remember that pot pie. That's a good one.
Yeah. And they're even going to do takeout orders for us too, include that in there. So there'll be a code to put in on their website and you come pick it up or whatever. And we still get proceeds from that. So
that's awesome.
We're really excited to work with them.
So you've got Martinis for Mutts is what day?
That is February 15th.
Okay.
And then that's a Saturday. Then Monday, the 17th is when the Lazy Dog fundraiser starts. And that'll go through the 23rd.
Very cool.
Where do you get tickets for martinis and mutts?
On our website, it's pawsinthecity.org/events.
Pawsinthecity.org/events. All right, very cool. So you got martinis for mutts, Saturday, February 15th. Then the following week, you've got the percentage of sales from Lazy Dog and Addison, specific to that location, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Lazy Dog and Addison, 15% going to Paws in the City.
And do you know what the code is to put in on the website if you order to go?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. That hasn't
Will that be on pawsinthecity.org?
It will, yes. And that'll be on Facebook as well. We'll do a Facebook event for it.
And if it wasn't, Trey, she's mentally writing it down to make sure she does it.
Well, that's an important piece of it. So
it really is.
It's number one already on the to-do list.
All right, so you got two great events. The big event, actual event coming up with martinis and mutts. And I remember, was it martinis for mutts? Yeah, it was. It was at the Candle Room.
Masquerade was the other formal one that we haven't come back yet. So
that's what I was thinking of. I remember Tara and I one year, Mark Verma wouldn't leave us alone. He was good about that, by the way.
Yeah, he was real good at that.
Mark Verma was really good about not leaving us alone until he died, in which case he was really good at that. For being honest. Rest in peace, Mark. We love you. But I remember he was like, you got to come to this. You got to come to the stand. You got to come to this at the Candle Room. At the Candle Room. Yeah, it's Masquerade. And I was like, you're going to be wearing a mask? And he said, yes. And I said, okay, I'll go. And Tara and I went. We had a wonderful time. It was one of the few times I've ever actually even been in the Candle Room. I felt cool and also felt like I was,
out of place.
Yeah, very, very, very out of place. Although I thought our masks looked pretty decent, with the masquerade thing, mainly because Tara picked them out. But yeah, so martinis from all the events that happened with Paws in the City, always had a good time, and that is definitely still the case. So go take a look at the dogs available for adoption. You can fill out applications to adopt. You can also fill out applications to foster, get more info on all the events and everything.
Or volunteer.
And volunteer. Ashley needs help. Right there on the website, pawsinthecity.org. Trey, anything else? All right. Paws in the City, 20-year anniversary. Now dogs
20 years.
with most of their legs. Paws in the
Most of the
City.
legs, yes.
Pawsinthecity.org. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Once again, if you'd like more information and adoption, foster, all that stuff from Paws in the City, go to their website, pawsinthecity.org. We are back inside the Treehouse now with Ashley from Paws in the City, along with me, Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Jerry Caldwell, all inside the Treehouse. It is Friday, February 7, 2025. Let's celebrate with some birthdays. Turning 36 today. Wait, what? Oh, it says Isaiah Thomas is 36 today. I'm guessing that's a different Isaiah Thomas than the one you and I grew up with, Trey.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the one that has no relation but has been playing. I think the story on him is his dad was another fan, and like he had a bet with another friend that was a Pistons fan. If the bet was whoever won, so he ended up naming his son Isaiah Thomas because he lost a bet.
That's sad. Although there could have been way worse names.
Totally.
Yeah. Could have been Meta World Peace. Anyway, other birthdays. So Isaiah Thomas turns 36 today. Not that one, the other one. Deborah Ann Wall turns 40 today. She is best known as Karen Page on Marvel's Netflix shows Daredevil and The Punisher. She's also one of the victims in the movie The Escape Room, but I know her best as Karen Page on Daredevil, which the new season's coming out this year, and I'm very excited. Jerry, I know you are as well, because you're a comic book nerd and a Marvel nerd like I am. I've watched the trailer for that. I also watched trailers recently for the, what was it? The Fantastic Four teaser came out this week.
So good.
And there was also the trailer for Jurassic Rebirth starring Scarlett Johansson.
Is that real? I thought
It
maybe
is.
that was one of those spoofs.
I did too. I really did. I kept seeing what looked like, because companies and channels on YouTube are now doing these AI generated trailers. And I really thought that this Scarlett Johansson Jurassic movie was one of those, but no, it's an actual thing, Trey. It's Jurassic Park or World, I don't know, Jurassic something Rebirth, starring Scarlett Johansson, not being Laura Croft, although she looks a hell of a lot like it.
Is there anybody else like from the originals that are going to be in it?
I think they've all finally said we're done with that, because they had the original Jurassic Park cast come back for the Jurassic World Dominion movie, which was utter crap. And I wish they hadn't have done it. And I will say, with Scarlett Johansson in this new movie, Mahershala Ali, the guy that we know as Marshmallow Ali in the Treehouse, he's going to be in it. So, I mean, it's a good cast, but Jurassic Park 3 also had a good cast because they had William H. Macy, and well, it's still crap. So I guess the biggest news here is that Deborah Ann Wall, today's her birthday, and the Jurassic Park movie with Scarlett Johansson is real. It's not an AI thing, and that's coming out later this year.
Not a joke.
Yeah, you're right. Scarlett Johansson in Jurassic Park is not a joke.
That remains to be seen.
Touche, Trey. Touche. Other birthdays today. Ashton Kutcher turns 47. And another former Maverick. So I didn't mention this earlier. The Isaiah Thomas that is turning 36 today. At one point, he's been such an NBA transient. He was also with the Mavs at one point. Steve Nash, NBA Hall of Famer and former Maverick. He turns 51 today. Happy birthday to Steve Nash / Dirk's BFF. From Godsmack, Sully Erna turns 57. Chris Rock, the comedian, is 60 today. Jesus Christ, I feel old now. Garth Brooks is 63, also turning 63 today. One of my favorite comedians ever, in addition to Chris Rock, and one of Trey's as well, Eddie Izzard, or Izzard, however you say it. He is 63 today. Every time it's his birthday or anytime his name comes up on the show, I always say this, and I will say it until the day I die. If you've never seen his stand-up, do yourself a favor and go watch Dressed to Kill. It's one of the best stand-up specials I have ever seen. It's where you learn things like executive transvestite, and you learn about history and French and le chat est sur la table and all sorts of fun things that you will learn from Eddie Izzard, and also Star Wars, all in there.
Cake or death.
Cake or death. and you learn from Eddie Izzard the importance of flags.
Yep.
Ashley's looking at us like, oh.
No, I'm looking at you like I'm going to find this like we are done here.
Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Are you familiar with that one, Ashley?
I have heard of it. I've not seen it.
You need to do that.
Yeah.
Celebrate Eddie's birthday by go watching Dressed to Kill.
I will do that today.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Did you know that you can get even more Treehouse? It's true. When you subscribe to Treehouse Plus, you'll get all sorts of goodies like bonus content, subscriber-only episodes, including video. It's all available at patreon.com/treehouseonair. That's patreon.com/treehouseonair to subscribe to Treehouse Plus. Dan O'Malley and Trey Trenholm with you inside the Treehouse, along with special guest Ashley from Paws in the City.
I get to be special.
You are special. And let's hope you stay that way, because once you're in the Treehouse, we're all special. It's kind of our own sickness. Speaking of a sickness, Trey, I mentioned this. I don't remember if it was earlier today or yesterday. That is the tragedy that is my brain. I can't remember necessarily one day from the next. And this will all tie in together. When I was going through the news, I don't recall how I saw this, but I learned something new. So I wanted to share it with you. Are you familiar with something called exploding head syndrome? I don't need your jokes right now, Trey. I just need to know if you've ever heard of it.
No, Dan, I've never heard of it.
All right. Ashley, have you heard of exploding head syndrome?
It sounds familiar.
Okay.
Don't actually know, though.
So I learned through news research for this show that exploding head syndrome is a rare sleep disorder that causes people to hear loud noises or feel like their head is exploding when they're falling asleep or waking up.
Jeez. It's like restless leg syndrome, but worse.
I also have that.
Oh,
I've
sorry
also
to hear
got
that.
restless leg syndrome. I haven't noticed it as much lately because I'm kind of sticking with dry January. I really haven't gone full back into drinking, and my restless leg syndrome seems to have waned a little bit. But exploding head syndrome is something that I learned about this week. And again, after scrolling the news for 5 or 10 minutes, I wish I had it.
and this is different from nocturnal emissions.
Yes, Trey. Very, very different. Exploding head syndrome is usually benign and not a serious health concern. It's usually benign, except in the instances when it's not.
Yeah, except that it's not benign to not be able to sleep.
Okay, yeah, that is true. I still remember I had this book as a kid. It was I think it was Real Stories of National Enquirer something. It was a book about horrific things that happened to people, like bee attacks that killed people, and it would go into detail describing it. It talked about instances of what's it called, Trey? Just man, I'm having my exploding
Nocturnal
head spin.
emissions?
No, not just when you suddenly explode.
Spontaneous combustion.
Thank you, Ashley, for being helpful. Spontaneous combustion. Those stories were in that National Enquirer book that I read as a kid. So when I first saw exploding head syndrome, I just wondered if it was an extension of spontaneous combustion, especially if it's not benign.
I would say that's not benign.
I would agree with you. Trey, why are you looking at me like a Bond villain? Like you've got your fingers clasped together?
I'm just curious.
His head is like rapid fire jokes.
Symptoms of exploding head syndrome: hearing loud noises like an explosion. I really hope this is in, an actual medical journal somewhere, and this is just not, Google AI messing with me. Feeling intense heat or an electrical charge in the upper body, flashes of light, muscle jerks, difficulty breathing, heart palpitations, sweating, feeling anxious or frightened. Jesus Christ, I have this.
None of those sound benign to me.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah.
You're sure this isn't nocturnal emissions?
Causes. Nocturnal
Glaze
emissions.
right over that.
You know, Ashley, you're right. It could say it in there, but I'm going to gloss right over it. I'm not going to give Trey the satisfaction.
You tease.
Seeing as how I've never had one of those, it is kind of a tease. I really kind of feel like
You're left out.
As an adolescent, I missed out.
You know what? I'm in the same boat. I never.
Really?
I've
Life goals unlocked, guys.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Ashley, if you say you have, I'm going to be pissed. I have them all the time. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us inside the Treehouse. Not just to you listening, but to you, Ashley, for putting up with us for a little bit of time. We appreciate it. For more information on Paws in the City, go to pawsinthecity.org. For us, it's treehouseonair.com. We'll see you Monday right here inside the Treehouse.